Hello everyone, welcome to How-FixIT. If your PlayStation 5 Slim is overheating during gameplay and shutting down randomly, don't worry, I'm here to help. In this step-by-step guide, I'll show you how to disassemble the PS5 Slim, clean out dust, replace the liquid metal, and reassemble it back together. Before we begin, here's a list of tools you'll need. Torx T8 security and Phillips 1 screwdriver, plastic pry tools, tweezers, a cleaning brush, an anti-static brush, and cotton swabs. I will use thermal grizzly conductanote, a liquid metal compound based on tin, gallium, and indium alloy, isopropyl alcohol, 90% or higher, and vacuum cleaner. I've included links to all the tools in the video description below. For successful maintenance of your game console, I recommend using a magnetic mat to organize screws as you go. The PS5 Slim has screws of various sizes, so it's crucial to track each one. And you don't have to worry about the screws getting lost. They will all securely adhere to the magnetic mat. Now, let's get started. Place the console on its side with the PS logo facing up. The top covers are held in place by clips. Lift the front edge to release them. You should hear distinct clicks, which indicate you've done it correctly. Remove any dust from the back of the cover. Clean the ventilation grill thoroughly. Use a vacuum cleaner with a crevice attachment to clear out dust from these air vents. It can obstruct airflow and lead to overheating. Repeat the same process for the second cover and clear any dust from the back. Dust inside the ventilation holes blocks air circulation and reduces cooling efficiency, leading to overheating and impacting the console's performance. Turn the game console over to remove the remaining two covers. Thoroughly remove dust, paying attention to the ventilation holes. Accumulated dust inside the case forces the fan to run at higher speeds to cool the components, which leads to increased noise levels. Now we move on to cleaning the fan. Remove the 4 screws securing the fan with your T8 Torx security screwdriver. Remove the plastic cover hiding the fan cable connector. Disconnect the fan cable from its socket and remove the fan. Use a vacuum cleaner with a dusting brush attachment to remove stubborn dust particles from the fan blades. Ensure the fan is completely clean. Dust buildup can create static charges, which attract more dust. Also, when small particles of dust or dirt remain on the blades, they make the fan surface rougher. Such a surface holds dust, which circulates inside the gaming console. A clean fan is quieter, more efficient, and helps maintain optimal performance. Let's move on to cleaning the heatsink. As you can see, the heatsink fins often collect dust, blocking airflow and reducing cooling efficiency. This reduces the ability to dissipate heat, which leads to higher temperatures. Regular cleaning helps extend the life of your gaming console by preventing overheating and component failure due to high temperatures. At this step, we have completed the superficial cleaning of the cooling system, and now we move on to a more detailed disassembly of the PlayStation 5 Slim to deeply clean and liquid metal replacement. Use the cutout on the bottom corner of the disk drive to lift its right edge and disconnect it. Grab your Phillips screwdriver and remove the screw securing the expansion slot cover. Remove the screw securing the M2 SSD, then take off the SSD and spacer. A warranty sticker hides one screw. Use tweezers to peel up the sticker. The PS5 hardware warranty is 1 year from the original purchase date. If your gaming console is over a year old, you can safely remove this sticker. Remove the 9 screws with your T8 Torx screwdriver. Lift off the plastic cover and clean any dust. Flip your PlayStation over and remove 2 more screws. Remove the 4 screws securing the metal cover. Use the point of a spudger to push the metal latch down and away from the connector to unlock it. Keep the latch in its unlocked position and carefully pull the cable straight out of its socket. Disconnect the antenna cables and separate them from the housing. The power supply is connected to the bottom of the main board by metal prongs that plug into the bottom left corner. To safely remove the main board, use a plastic spudger to pry it up from underneath. The PlayStation 5 Slim cooling system blows air through the power supply, causing dust to accumulate at the bottom of the console case. This leads to overheating components, including the power supply, which can negatively impact the PS5's overall stability, such as unexpected shutdowns, and in severe cases, it may cause permanent damage to the power supply. To prevent these issues, thoroughly clean the ventilation holes of the power supply. This will help ensure stable operation and extend the lifespan of your console's components. Now we have full access to the entire heatsink and can thoroughly clean it. This step is crucial because a dust-clogged heatsink cannot effectively cool the components, leading to overheating. As a result, the fan will need to operate at higher speeds to compensate for the reduced heat dissipation, which can cause the PS5 to automatically shut down, or, in more, damage the internal components. After cleaning, check the heatsink. It should be clean, without any dust and debris. At this point, we are done with cleaning the PS5 Slim. If you don't need to replace the liquid metal, you can skip to the reassembly section using this time code. Liquid metal typically lasts up to 5 years before performance starts to diminish. But if your console is still overheating after cleaning, it may need to replace the liquid metal. Remove the 30 screws securing the top metal plate. Use a spudger to pry the metal plate. Work your way around the perimeter until it separates. It may take some force to separate the plate, because thermal pads bond the metal plate to the main board. Check the blue thermal pads. If they are flexible and still sticking, they can be reused. If they are dry or falling off, replace them. If the main board is dusty and you decide to clean it, use only an empty static brush. Remove the 2 screws securing the tension bracket, alternating turns to maintain even pressure on the bracket. But don't remove one screw at a time, or you may damage the APU chip. Be especially careful removing the screws and do not rush. Otherwise, if the screwdriver slips off the screw, you may scratch the surface of the motherboard, which will lead to its damage. Remove 2 more screws securing the main board. Gently lift the bottom left corner of the motherboard with the plastic spudger to separate it from the power supply metal prongs and bottom metal plate. Remove the main board, flip it over, and carefully lay it on a housing. Now, let's move on to replacing the liquid metal. The first step is to prepare the APU surface for the liquid metal application. Use a cotton swab and isopropyl alcohol, 90% or higher, to degrease the surface of both the APU and the heatsink. Gently wipe the area to remove any remaining traces of old liquid metal. Keep using fresh cotton swabs or cloth pieces until the surface is spotless. The silicon chip should have a mirror finish and be completely residue-free. Clean the mating surface of the heatsink in the same way. Ensure it's thoroughly clean before reapplying the liquid metal. While wiping, a bubble might form. You can collect it with a syringe and reuse it if you do not have a fresh tube of liquid metal. But don't use the syringe containing your new liquid metal. Attach the micro tip to the liquid metal tube. Carefully squeeze a small drop of liquid metal onto the silicon chip. If you squeeze out too much, as I demonstrated, it can pool in certain areas or overflow, leading to uneven contact between the APU chip and the heatsink. This reduces thermal transfer efficiency and could lead to overheating. If this happens, simply collect the excess with a syringe and try again. Liquid metal is highly efficient, so only a tiny amount is necessary. This small drop is enough for the PS5 APU chip. If you are using standard cotton swabs, be aware that they may leave fibers behind. It's better to use lint-free or specialized swabs made specifically for liquid metal application. Spread the liquid metal evenly across the entire surface of the silicon chip. Apply light pressure with the cotton swab to ensure smooth application. The goal is to create a thin, uniform layer that covers the chip completely, with no clumps or bare spots. Once you've covered the chip, repeat the process with the heatsink. Again, only a small amount of liquid metal is needed. Spread it evenly, just as you did on the silicon chip. If you find there's too much liquid metal, just collect it back into the syringe. Remember, the purpose of liquid metal is to fill the microscopic gaps between the silicon chip and the heatsink for optimal thermal conductivity. Applying too much creates a thick layer, which can act as an insulator, reducing cooling efficiency and causing higher temperatures. Therefore, a thin, even layer is essential for optimal cooling. We're done with the liquid metal, so now let's move on to reassembling the PS5 Slim. When installing the mainboard, pay close attention to the metal prongs that need to connect to the power supply. Ensure that the two notches align correctly. Secure the mainboard with 2 screws. Next, position the bracket with plastic arms first, ensuring the pegs fit into their designated cutouts. Then, place the metal bracket on top of the plastic one, aligning the screw holes. When tightening the screws, alternate between the two, turning each a few times at a time to apply even pressure on the bracket. Avoid fastening one screw completely at a time, as this could damage the APU chip. When installing the metal plate, make sure the blue thermal pads are correctly in place. If any are missing, the components may overheat. Secure the metal plate with 30 screws. Reattach the antenna cables in their original positions and reconnect them to the mainboard. Insert the cable into its socket, replace the metal cover, and fasten the screws. Install the plastic cover over the mainboard and secure it with screws. Flip your PlayStation over and fasten 2 more screws. To install the disk drive, hook the left edge into its cutouts, then press the drive into place so that the connector in the bottom right corner fits securely into its socket. Put back the spacer, then install M2 SSD and tighten the screw. Now, install the fan and connect the fan cable to its socket. Secure the fan with 4 screws. Finally, to install the covers, align the hooks into their cutouts along the edge of the case, then pull the opposite edge of the cover until the grooves snap into place. Repeat this process for the remaining 3 covers. If you found this guide helpful, give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more tech tips and guides. Visit our website for more tech insights and do-it-yourself guides. Remember, every tech challenge is an opportunity to learn and grow. If you spilled sugary water on your PS5 controller and the buttons are sticking, check out my tutorial on how to clean and restore it. Thank you for watching, and see you again next time.